This is the sculpture park of Dubrova. Very nice, but there's an awful lot going on. Are they the sculptures? I don't know. What do they use as a model? Tuba Smarties? Quite possibly. Should we get back to the racing? 7.1 kilometres from home. I mean, I love a sculpture park just as much as anybody else, but there's some race going on. Here we are. Cairo still embedding themselves in his Grenadiers. Have some ambition. On the blower there was Magnus Sheffield with the white jersey. He is calling for pace setting and indeed how this is to be dictated. They're all very much aware of what the pecking order is right now, and indeed who's good, who's got the legs, and more than that, who's got the ambition today.
Yeah, you can see the speed's really up here. The road's really not wide enough to move up. Those guys who are riding on the front, they're obviously kind of leading out for their leaders in that little group who are kind of hanging around where Magnus Sheffield is. So
here we go. It's a kick-off, and it's Cairo that have gone for it. That looked like Tarling that's just trying to mark them out at the moment. No panic yet from Luke Plapp, who just rests up, leaves himself some rush room. Indeed, might well just give a magic carpet ride to Magnus Sheffield. Plapp with the Australian national jersey, the golden shoulders here, and the white jersey of Magnus Sheffield just sitting on his back wheel. Bahrain not out of this at all, with Mate Mohoric just biding his time, looks comfortable as you like. Jonas Gregor and Torsten Train are also here, as is Aular riding the centre line. Meanwhile, Lidl Trek up here with Hjelmos, I think it is. Quinn Simmons not in sight after being busy yesterday. I think it's Hjelmos who will be their man. So back to Rabac to show you where you might have gone on holiday with 5.8 kilometres to go. I know we want to cram in the scenery, and it's absolutely beautiful, but there's a climb to be had, and there's a lot of mixing and matching going on out front. Oh, there's my hotel. The Valamar Bellevue. I did say it was coming up, but I'd still like to see the racing, even though this is a wonderful facility. Thank you very much. And here we are. Well, it's anybody's game, and it still looks very, very lively, and it's interesting to see who's coming up to join the fun here. All hands to the pump.
Yeah, so on the right hand side of the screen you've got Ethan Hayter, who's moved up with Conor Swifter. You imagine that Ineos are going to try and lead this out for Magnus Sheffield to attack at the bottom of the climb. That would be their best option at the moment.
Well, the problem is that they're running out of road, and if anyone wants to move up, it's being mob-handed just for the time being. There's going to be a very swift turn any second now. We're 4.5 kilometres out, so this is our run for home.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to get really hectic from now on. So far, you have to wonder where Matthew Mohoric has been hiding. He's right in the middle of the screen. And he's following Alouar, so he knows the who's on form and who to follow.
Absolutely. Well, looks like Roger Adria has got some ambition. There he is. He just goes into wheel 2 of the line of petrol green or blue on the right-hand side of your screen. So Adria fancies it, and why not? This is kind of a generally wavering road. 3.8 kilometres to go. It'll gently bend towards the left, but not for very long before it wavers right around about the 3 kilometre mark. That will take us down towards the 3 kilometre mark. So here we go. Get your road position sorted out, because there's lots of road to play with here, but there won't be after we make the turn, and that's the crucial point, because it really only comes at the Flamme Rouge. So we're going to scream down to that point.
Yeah, we are. It looks like it's not going to be a climbers race. Eddie Dunbar and Jaco, who had done so much of the work all day, have disappeared to the back of this, and it's turning into a kind of sprint fest again by the looks of it.
Look at Parasini, number 86, who got up in the intermediate sprint. He's clearly survived the climbs in the silver there with the slightly yellowish helmet. What a man to watch. Won yesterday, didn't mind the wall, and he's kind of just got to dial his thoughts back to how he coped with that and do it again. He might well be leading this race at the end of the day. Let's see what happens to bonus seconds therein. It's a stream into town, as you can see, by Ineos Grenadiers. Working for Magnus Sheffield. He's in the white jersey at the back of that line. It looks like he's going to have a magic carpet ride in. He's basically got 4 lead-out men in front of him. Aular's just staying on his wheel. You can see, likewise, we've retrieved the situation with Freddie Deverne is up here and busy. Alexander Kristof's managed to get himself back in the frame. A remarkable athlete. And that is Parasini just using a little bit of shoulderage here and just weaving his way back to where he needs to be as well. Fantastic approach. They've done a lot of work, UNOX, here today. I'm not quite sure whether it's going to be Greyard or Train for them. I think Greyard is their best choice. So let's see. Luke Plapp with the golden shoulders makes the turn right now. 1.9. Little flick-flack, I beg your pardon, that will take us down to that 1 kilometre to go marker, but we're already climbing essentially. The road just kicking up, and this is where it gets busy.
Yeah, and we've already done this part, so everybody knows what to expect. And so Luke Plapp on the front, and then Conor Swift, and then Ethan Hayter and Magnus Sheffield. So I think in this case you're going to have to choose Ineos versus UNOX. I imagine the Ineos trainer will be the stronger one, but so far UNOX have been able to match them quite often.
It may take somebody going solo. He's not going to have to do it yet, Aular, because he's got Barcelo, I think it is, in front of him. Had Chepeda, in fact, I think it might be Chepeda with Barcelo now being dispensed with, but Kaya Roral are doing a phenomenal job. And it is Barcelo that's going to be doing the leading, number 54 in the green there. Meanwhile, there are others here that are going to get busy. Badilati, Mr. Sourmilk is coming up to help Nico Parazini, if he possibly can. There's Mihailovic, who would have been part of the approach for Mate Mohoric, and it may be that Mohoric does it on his own today.
So now we've got Pietrobon of Viola Cometa on the front, trying to lead out their options. Well into this final kilometre, it just gets harder and harder as soon as we hit those little cobblestones, and everybody knows that that's the moment you have to be on the front. And
here we are. Cobblestones are beckoning, and the terrain starts to kick up, and it's Luke Plapp. They'll strip out the distance to go, and this is it. It's time to show what you've got. Mate Mohoric has got an awful lot, and he's a hard man to catch in a situation like this. It might be man against an entire team or two. Still here is Parasini, and he's actually following the back wheel of UNOX. Absolutely remarkable. Trying to get into position is Oscar Onley of DSM riding the centre line. Plapp still picks it up. Mohoric is still not done just yet. Mind you, let's see, Sheffield is just slightly out of position. So's Aular. He's going to have to go the long way round, just get slightly balked. But here he is on the barriers. Can he find a way through? The Venezuelan champion. It's Sheffield that's following him. And it's going to come down to a sprint to the line. Who's got anything left in the legs? That's the big question. Onley's going to go for it, slightly screened by these spectators. Badly placed, I think. Can't be marshalled anymore, and Sheffield hits the front. Aular's on his back wheel. Sheffield's grinding it in, but it looks like it might be a lead out for Ethan Hayter. Let's wait and see as they come up over the top. Aular is there on the inside line with 200 metres to go. Here comes Mohoric trying to rejoin the party, but has he left it too late? There's 150 metres to go only right now. Sheffield still grinding it. Mohoric coming up and over the top. Adria wants to be part of the day as well. He's getting some drive here. Aular's just about run out of steam by the looks of things. Sheffield's on the back wheel of Mohoric with Adria there. Aular, I don't think can get any more out of it. And has Sheffield got anything left? Not got the explosivity just at the time. Oh, and at the line, Mohoric takes it ahead of Sheffield. Then comes Aular. Oh, and then I believe comes Ethan Hayter and indeed Roger Adria. What a finale that was. And where indeed is Parasini? Here he is now at the line. It'll all factor in as to who indeed is going to take the day and indeed take the lead of this race.
So, 200 metres to go. Mate Mohoric started fighting with his bike to try and move up, and I thought for a moment, he was just going to die a death. He was out the saddle fighting with the machine. Made it up to as far as Ethan Hayter, who looked really, really comfortable, but he stayed stuck to the saddle, and it was Magnus Sheffield who was the only kind of real challenger to Mate Mohoric. I think with that second place, Magnus Sheffield is going to be in the race lead. He's going to take 6 bonus seconds, and it looked like there was enough of a gap back to Nicola Parisini that he'll inherit the race lead, and Ineos will be back in control.
Well, that was a terrific finale. Well, the cream rises to the top. That's exactly what we got. All the names we were looking for.
So there you can see that Matty Mohoric is asking Magnus Sheffield where he was. Were you asking? Were you second or third? And Magnus is going to say, "Yeah, I was second. Race lead now."
Yeah, there you are. All pals. One takes the stage, one takes the lead. It's pretty narrow, isn't it?
Yeah, really difficult finish. You could see the pace that Sheffield set. They just kind of burn through riders trying to come up and go over him, and he just, he's so strong in that type of thing that you noticed he never really got out the saddle until that last couple of 50 metres or so when Mohoric came past and he had to grab that wheel.
Well, those who have helped today, we thank them. They've animated the day. Tomorrow, Pippa, we've got a big old rolling stage with climbing straight out the back door. 189 kilometres, similar to today, destination Oshach, and it has a couple of little lumplets towards the end, but I reckon it's got Alexander Kristoff written all over it.
You'd imagine that Uno X hope so. They did a lot of work today and got mugged by Bahrain at the end, and it wasn't a secret that Matty Mohoric was up for the win today, and he managed to pull it off. But